Our very first call of April. I can't believe it's April already. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it still should be like February. It's also freezing in Virginia, which I know several of y'all are here, and it's freezing and it's not feeling like spring. And quite honestly, March didn't feel like spring to me at all in the weather or my business. It did not feel like spring. It just felt like a winter season. And that's all we'll say about that. We're not going to give more life to that than we need. Yeah, it's cold in Texas too. But why we do these, just to set a premise up for those of you that are new or watching the replay. So every Monday, I know that I start my week so grateful that Young Living is it's my full-time opportunity. I have a freedom lifestyle. Today I basically worked from my phone for hours in the car and went with my family to our favorite spot 2 hours away, spent the day there, drove home. And so I really worked for probably 5 hours, honestly, probably a lot of time, but I did it while being able to really have it as just something I was able to do to pass the time before I got to the real special family time. And I'm saying that to y'all because I want you to understand that what we're talking about freedom lifestyle is just that. It looks different for all of us. For some of you guys, freedom could be staying at home because you want to have babies or you already have them or you have an elderly parent or grandparent to take care of. It could be that you love your full-time job and that's awesome, right? Keep your full-time job. Do this because it's something that you enjoy doing as well. So please understand that we all come from different places, geographically, physically, really when we talk about our mental focus and that part of it. And then of course, when it comes to how we're doing this business, our approach and what hours we're willing to devote. And I will say that I live every day, just for me, it's very helpful for me to think in a way on Mondays specifically. The reason I've been like, okay, we should stick with Motivation Monday, because on Mondays, I tend to do two things. One, super grateful I don't have a normal job, because for me, that would be very hard with the season of life I'm in. The second thing that I do is that I'm thankful that I have a career. And what I mean by that is I like to work and I'm thankful that I have a purpose outside of my home and outside of really myself to do this. And on Monday, it is the day that for me, I don't take a full day of rest on Sunday. I don't want to act like that's what I do. It's not true. But Sunday is very much devoted to church and family and sometimes classes. So Monday, I love my job. I'm refreshed by it. It's exciting for me. And so I hope you feel the same way too. So what we're going to do, just kind of a different kind of vibe for our team is Motivation Mondays. I've been doing them with a silver every single week. It's been a different silver and they've been basically leading it. And it's been inspirational tips for us, but also some real practical knowledge. So we're not going to take away from that, but I have a very special group of ladies that, let me say this too. This is open. I don't want to be rank exclusive, but I also don't want people to get distracted. So if you're silver and above and you're watching this and you're not like, yes, I'm in, I want to do this with y'all, let me know. And we'll just loop you in and we'll make sure that you are literally doing what you're probably already doing, but taking more ownership in that. So I want to announce the ladies on this call that are going to be just really in a new way showing up in Dream Team. So Dream Team is not my dream. It's not Ashley's dream team. It's not your Diamond Upline runs this group and some other people post sometimes. My vision for this is very much not I'm out of town for a week, let me get other people to cover it. This is a group that I go to be fed as well as you. And I want to say that again, like I want our community to feel like we send people to be fed business information and value, because there is business information and value from people we trust and love. And so I personally, more than a business purpose, the collaborative next level purpose for me is that I like to work with others. I like to be part of a team. I like to be something that's much bigger than what I could do on my own. And it's always been that way. So that's the disclaimer. But what we're just doing is just taking it to a next notch of ownership where we're saying like, you as a leader on this team, especially, I mean, let's just say an average number is most silvers have at least 150 members. Okay. So when you think about it that way, that means their 150 people are already plugged into Dream Team. So let's allow them to be raised up as a leader and have their voice louder than, louder than just one voice that might be on there the most often. Just because someone posts the most often, we also know that doesn't mean they're the wisest yet, right? I mean, sorry, disclaimer if you thought I was really smart, because it's just not true. It just means they happen to be persistent. So I will go ahead and introduce, if you don't know them already, because I'm staring at her beautiful face right now and she's looking down and her enrollment date is what, the 15th? Courtney Strem. So Courtney is a gold on our team. She's been doing this for almost 5 years, and I just love her ability to see a situation, figure out how she can make it better. I'm not being funny, but I'm literally serious. She's like, let's just do this, and she plugs in and helps us, and also is so loyal and loving and able to just really develop strong relationships. So I am excited. I did not even mean to say anything about people, so apparently now I have to do that for everyone, which is going to be special. Y'all are going to be like, this sounds like a pageant interview, but I'm excited to have Courtney just in a new level of leadership and dream team. She's always been doing this as the other ladies have, but it's just going to be her showing up in a new level and a new way. So make sure you friend. This is what I want you to understand. You need to friend all these ladies because you will not get notifications if you don't friend them. If you are in dream team and you haven't friended me, that is a huge problem, and I need to make that better known. But if you haven't friended the other ladies that we're going to just mention right now, please do, because you want to see the notifications. You can also follow them, but some people don't really understand how that works. So if you don't understand that, then just friend them. Sorry if y'all don't want. Also follow them on Instagram. They can post. We'll all post their handles, because friending them on Facebook is great for you, but friending them on or following them on IG is great for them. So mutually helpful. Mutually helpful is always great.
Awesome.
The next lovely lady that her enrollment date I thought was the 4th, and it is the 7th of this month. She will have doesn't even make sense. She will have been a member of our team for 5 years this month as well. Lori Kitchens. What I love about Lori is that even from afar, I can feel her love and warmth and hugs. I miss them because I will tell you, Lori is very nurturing, not just in a motherly way, but in a very much a friend that cares about you. It's going to walk through things with you. It does that with her team as well. Lori handles a lot of taking care of her family, as in her immediate family and extended family in Texas, where she moved more years ago than I like to say. At this point, it's kind of sad, right? I'm like, oh, yep. It goes by quickly. But she has been just really owning her group as far as education for 5 years, but in the business side has supported in with us for the past a couple years, and want to just elevate her to a new level and place of leadership where she is truly pouring into all you guys. This is funny. Told you I did not mean to say all this about people, but I can't help it. Allison, poor Allison. I'm saying poor Allison because, wait for it, you want to hear what happened to her? Allison is my friend that has a lot of spunk. We tend to both be alike in our positive qualities, and we ignore the negative ones. We don't need to talk about that. But we both move quickly and leave out details. So if you don't understand how I communicate, then you will appreciate even more how Allison communicates, because she inspires me. I love reading her stuff. And then I realize also that I never notice if it's, fast paced or leaves out stuff, because I'm like, that's how I speak. So I probably should have said all their Enneagram numbers and color personalities, but I thought you would laugh at that, because Allison handles 3 kids that are all 1 year old, basically. She takes care of a husband, so a 4th child, and she works full time because she's crazy. And she moved 18 different times in the past year to 18 different places, and she runs marathons on the side, and she's just awesome. She has so much energy and drive and enthusiasm, and she just has the ability to flip the script every time a situation or circumstance gets hard. So you're going to love hearing from her. And let's talk about duplication, y'all, because our next 2 leaders, ready? Our next 2 leaders are on her team, because they love her that much. When she said she was doing this, they're like, yeah, sign me up. I want to be part of that, which neither one of them talk like that. So it's a little funny. Are they on here? I don't see either one of them. Let me click over. No, I'm so sad. So Becky,
it's Hawaii time. So she's finishing up work.
Oh. Well, actually, you know what, Allison? Why don't you introduce both of them? That would be how we should do this, actually. Tell us a little bit about both of our friends that are joining us.
All right. So 2 other people are going to join in. And as Ashley said, this is everybody's group. But they are going to kind of step up their leadership role. They are 2 silvers on my team. One is Becky Hong, who is living in Japan, and it is spring break. And she has a 3-year-old in 2 weeks. And so she's probably busy with that. And it's also really early in the morning. So she is fantastic. She is such a light. She works hard, but she never sweats. You never can see how hard she works. She like keeps her composure just like this. And she is always just there to bring me down when I get super emotional and high. And I would not be here without my friend Becky Hong. And so she is going to be amazing. She also has a great knack to explain everything in layman terms and just makes you want to have it all. So I am so thrilled that she is being a part of this. And then Kayleen, oh my gosh, she just got married and I forgot her new name. That's terrible. Kayleen is a physical therapist, full-time physical therapist in Hawaii. So she is finishing up her day. So she is wonderful. She has so many in-person events. She loves on her team fiercely and she loves on her cross line fiercely. She is going to be such a great addition to your post feed because she always puts everything in such an amazing order and it just speaks to literally everybody. So I'm super pumped for them and they will be on these calls in the future. She has some amazing things to share.
And I want to highlight that Motivation Monday will be a different time every week. So if you are somebody that you're like, this time isn't great for me, and I shouldn't say every week, when I do them, it will be this time because it's just what fits my schedule. I really can't do earlier very well. On Mondays, I have a child at home. I mean, we all have different stuff, but we will have different people doing them different times. So please be on the lookout for that and make sure you pay attention. Next week, our next Motivation Monday will be run by those two ladies, and it will be all about the value of convention and in-person events that are immersive in nature. So I want to introduce Lacey. Where's Lacey's smiling face right there? So what is so fun about Lacey that I love this is, so I didn't personally enroll Lacey, but I am I enrolled her friend enrolled her. We didn't know each other at all. And I had a phone call with her because she was like building a business, like on her own, just kind of like doing her own thing. She is very much like Becky in that she won't be shaken. Her faith is strong. She knows what she's focused on. She knows how to handle storms, and she does not pull away from her business. She just grinds it out and keeps going, but in a very life-giving way. She forms partnerships with local businesses like none other, and I hope that she will train us and lead us in that area because her town is like all signed up. Like the businesses do it. She has classes there. I mean, it's like, I love going there. She actually didn't invite me this summer, so it kind of hurt my feelings. But when she's ready for me to come back, I can't wait because it's like walking into a sorority, right? Like that's what I feel like, Lacey, your team is like. You just create a vibe where everyone loves each other and it's so happy. It's all very, very connected by relationships that are meaningful and lasting. And I am just so thankful that you trusted our team as your team that you have found a home with because you didn't know any of us. And I just think that's awesome. So you will be able to give us some good cold market tips as well. I mean, really, because that's something she's great at too, is events and cold market. So I'm excited to have all of us on here. What we're going to do is you're probably like, that was a lot of talking about the people, but here's what I want you to understand. There's value in this team because we're coming together in unity, and unity actually brings clarity. Unity of purpose, unity of vision brings clarity to situations. And the only way that you get rid of problems is to shine a light on them. And the only way that you actually, ready for it, did y'all know that when things are in bright light, we might be able to see their flaws, but it illuminates their good parts too? Did y'all, like, I mean, maybe it sounds weird, but in the dark, no one can see anything good or bad. So that's like isolation. When you bring things to light, you might see some flaws. You might see some mistakes, like me making the event for the wrong day. But what you don't get to see in the darkness are the good qualities and the highlights in someone's features and their ability to truly, change the atmosphere in a room. You can't see those things in the dark. So let's bring each other to light. Let's lift each other up. And then we want to just go through and tell you what to expect this month because it is a little different. I am excited. It's just different. And I'm saying I'm excited because you should feel a difference in Dream Team. And if you don't, then that's a huge disservice we're doing to you because as people who are striving to help each of you live your best lives, we want you to feel a difference. And I also want to look at my notes to make sure I'm covering the right things. I'm going to let, there we go. want to encourage everyone on here that we actually want to have separate recognition every single time someone enrolls someone, every single time someone has a class, every single time someone has a one-on-one, every single time someone has a rank up. So what we can all do now is you get to do that for anyone on your team that's done it. And here's what I want to encourage you to do. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh. If no one did it for you, then you should do it for yourself. Here's how. I was so scared to teach a class 2 nights ago. And guess what? I did it. I held a script. There were 6 people there. 1 person enrolled. I have some more market prospects, but I want to encourage each of you that if I can do it, you can do it. Like, there you go. Guess what you just did? You recognize yourself, but you always, always lift each other up. And so it's just a law of the universe about, it could be law of attraction. I also like to say a rising tide lifts all ships. And it's just absolutely true. If I see other people rocking things out, I believe that I can. And as my belief is built, I encourage each other. Another person, that person encourages another person. And just like a tide, it eventually will raise up every single ship that's in that harbor, because our harbor is one purpose. And that really is wellness, purpose, and abundance through young living. We also want to encourage you, Help 5, and then I'm going to let these ladies have some time to talk about the cool things we're doing. Help 5 is not happening in the month of April, but there's big things that are being announced on Saturday through the Live Your Passion rallies. So stay tuned to that and plug into that. Every single time that you lean into an incentive that Young Living gives, you're leaning into a really strong, firm foundation that you can then plug into that's actually free for you, that you don't have to offer incentives for, you don't have to design the program, you don't have to sign a freaking Google Doc, like you just get to lean into that. So we as a leadership team are going to make sure that we're really recognizing people along with that new thing that is happening. So next thing, I'm going to go ahead and just let each of us talk about different areas. What should it be? Actually, who wants to take that? Maybe Allison. Allison, what should it feel like this month? Like, what are we doing to make it feel different? You're muted.
You didn't hear me? Weird. So I think this month is going to be huge because I am super pumped for many reasons. One, that it's April and I live in New Hampshire now, and it's going to be sunny and it's going to be warm and it's going to bring all those awesome spring feelings. Same thing as in Dream Team, same things in our usage groups. It is going to be huge. There's going to be so much spring excitement, and it's going to set you up for summer. And one of those reasons that it is that we are going to collaborate together. If you don't know this already, Crossline, which is anybody that isn't necessarily on your downline or your upline, it's kind of cross, like think cousins. So that's what we all are. We're all under Ashley, but we're all Crossline. And Crossline is the best line. So if you haven't already found a Crossline friend, and then we're here for you. But if you have, then you know how important it is. And that's how we're going to get that excitement, because you're going to learn from other people that don't necessarily need to invest in you. You're going to run with them. Like, you are going to feel their excitement, or maybe even their personality type you're going to be attracted to. And that is going to gain that excitement. And when we all get excited, we all can spring forward and we can all see the summer months that can harvest all the good, right? Winter is tough. Like, winter is tough to get through. It can be depressing. It can be slow. It can be all the things, just like any season. But now we're in that exciting growth. And that's what I'm pumped to do it with these ladies. I'm pumped to see you all post in Dream Team as well, and recognize your leaders, recognize your new builders, recognize your new members that might be interested, and that we can all love on you as well. That was unrehearsed. I hope
perfect.
That was okay.
All right. What about this is awkward. I told them I wasn't going to call on them. I just wanted it to flow, but I just feel like I want to match with this is motivational and it's going to feel different, but there's also some practical things that are pretty pragmatic that we're going to implement that are different. And you know what? Here's the deal. If we're not failing at some things, we're not trying hard enough. If we're not failing at some things, we're not trying hard enough. So I'm saying that to preface this, I don't anticipate failing at this next thing that we'll introduce, but I have failed at training like a lot of times. I'm like, nope, that missed the mark. Nobody finished doing that one. Oop, forgot 6 days. I mean, like literally, I had like so many times. And I'm okay with that. Because here's the deal. Nothing grows in comfort zones. And we hear that quote, but like it is actually true. I mean, if you think about this, my kid got strep tested on Wednesday last week and it was negative. 5 days later, it was positive. Why? Because they got to grow it. It got an environment that was conducive to the infection. I'm not being funny, but really just think about it. I think about when I like have a new relationship with someone and it's real comfortable when they know nothing about me. It's like super comfortable. Here's a good one. I'm on our prayer team at church and like me praying with somebody and just like, oh, I'll pray with you. And I pray with them and it's all awesome. But then when they come talk to me after and it's uncomfortable, I want to be back where I was praying with them because it's comfortable. Because I'm okay. I'm okay. I can be with God. Like this relationship's comfortable for me. I'm not really in a relationship with them. I'm just taking it and carrying it for them. But when they want to engage and ask for advice and ask me to go to call, like that for me, it's not that it's bad, but it's not ever a comfort zone because people are unpredictable. So with us and what we do as far as training, we're going to keep switching it up. Lacey's going to tell us about something. Y'all, we might do it 1 month. We might do it 6. We might not. You know what? Here's a good one. If it doesn't go well, we might stop it. Oh my goodness. Did I say that? Yes, I did. We might. Who knows what? But here's the deal. Lacey, tell us your personal experience with this and your professional opinion on why it's going to be awesome.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing starting, I think we said the 8th of April, so next week. It will go up tonight. Is something called Operation Silver that we used to do a lot when I first started. And I think it was like probably the only training that was available, I think. If there was other training, I didn't know about it and I didn't do it. But Operation Silver was like hardcore. It was 30 days long, and it will be, still is, of all of the ins and outs. And it can take you some of the days. So it's 30 days every weekday. And a post will go up in a separate Facebook group. And you have to engage in the posts. It's definitely going to be geared towards people who are serious. You don't want to just like add somebody in there who like just got their kit 4 days ago and doesn't know anything yet. It's going to be for those people who maybe are feeling a little bit stuck or just need a push or they're ready to run or they are serious. And because it is pretty intense, but it is awesome if it is done the way it's supposed to be done in its entirety. So it's 5 weekdays every day for 30 days, 30 weekdays, so 6 weeks. And the post could take 10 minutes or they could take literally an hour because sometimes it's something to read or it's a video or it's always different. But I did it and it was not easy when I started and I did it. But I want to say I was dedicated to finishing it. I don't start things unless I'm going to finish them. So I did it. And I don't think that I would still be doing Young Living if I didn't do Operation Silver. Yep. I wouldn't be, just because I still tap back into the resources I learned and just, I don't even know what it was specifically about it. Just consistency in general and what I learned from doing that training. There's so much good stuff hidden in there that if you actually complete it and you do it, I guarantee that you'll grow. If you actually put yourself into it and you do it. So I did it over the winter with just a small handful of people. And we did have 2 that did grow and want their people plugged into it. So I was going to start it again. So we're just going to open it up to all of Dream Team. So if you have people on your team, or when they watch the replay, if they are serious about doing it, it is a commitment, but I guarantee that you will get a lot out of it.
I love what Lacey just said because she was like, it was hard, but I did it. Guys, I started this training a week after I had a kid. I literally had a kid for 4 days. 4 days. I signed up to do the training when I had my kid. I was like, oh, sir. When I didn't have my kid yet. I was like, sounds great, because it was 6 weeks. So if I would have waited, it would have been a long time, if that makes sense. So we used to run this. It was 6-week training, and then we would take a 2-week break. That's kind of how it worked. So every 2 months we were starting it, but we had like a 70 to 80% completion rate. Just to give you perspective and not to be discouraging, but with Ignite and Propel, first of all, I love Propel. Like if you are independent and you can train yourself, as in like you'll hold yourself accountable, Propel is an amazing resource. I've just found we've had about 5 to 10% complete both of those. And that's just not, I mean, I do have standards in life. They aren't 100%, but like I believe that my time is worth more than a 5 to 10% return. And I believe your time is too. And I believe that you're worth it. And if you need to pay someone to do this training, and what I mean by that is like if you literally will not do it unless you have skin in the game, I want to suggest to you that you make that happen in a way where you're like, I am giving I guess you could give your upline $200 and they could return it to you at the end of the training. I mean, whatever. But you can't give your downline money. That's why I just had a moment where I was like, you could all give Lacey your money and she'll hold it for you as a retainer fee, like a lawyer, and then she'll pay you out at the end. I don't know if that's legal or not. I'm going to go with yes. It might not be. But my whole point is, if you need to make a physical investment into this, then what you can do is say, I'll only buy an Aria for myself when I finish this training. Or I will buy myself a new gown for the gala convention and I will return it if I don't complete the training. Like you can create mental barriers for yourself that are going to ensure that you actually complete it because you are worth it. This business is worth it. This opportunity is worth it. Future generations of your family are worth it. And guys, here's the deal. If you know you're a person who does well in school, get your butt in school. Like this is school. If you know that you need accountability, get yourself some accountability. Later on this month, Lori Kitchens is going to talk to us about something she's doing to hold herself accountable. I won't make her do that right now, but I actually just want to hear, and I don't have as specific of things that I want them to talk about, but I would really just love for you to hear from Courtney and Lori and what they're thinking. And then we're going to wrap up into this where I'm going to really drill down on something that I am rooting myself in, and that's the 3 pillars. So stay tuned. We'll hear from both of them, talk about the 3 pillars, and then y'all will go out and flip rank tonight. That's basically it.
On the 1st.
There you go. Yep, Courtney's talking first. Go ahead, Courtney.
Flip rank on the 1st, I said.
Yep. Okay. Maybe power of 1 too. Make sure you remind them about that. Yes,
that's a great thing for me to talk about. So power of 1 we did last month, and we did, I'm so sorry, my chair is broken, so if I'm like rolling all over the place. We did last month with the Desert Mist diffusers. This month we're doing with 2 different $50 account credits, and it's basically going to be just one act. So you can enroll, you can host a class, reaching out to follow up with someone. It's like literally, there's a whole list of just one action item that you're doing that's an IPA. Already said the reward for this month. Yeah. So that kind of leads into the 3 pillars, but you want me to talk about those?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. So those, everything on that list, I think, is pretty much an IPA, right? Yeah. To some extent. So that really feeds into the 3 pillars that we're going to focus on this month. And those are, we really want to try to normalize enrolling people, and just make it obvious, make it known that you don't have to enroll, 20 people a month. It's great to recognize the people that are doing that, and that's awesome and amazing. And, but that's not what's the norm, and that's not what's expected or anything like that. We really believe that elevating somebody from where they're at, just meeting them where they are and allowing them to grow from there, versus, expecting that everyone will be at the same level of these 3 pillars. But enrolling people, again, even one, getting them on ER, which is the 2nd pillar, and then duplicating that. So Sandy made a really cool graphic. Can't remember what the 3 words are. Something, what is it? Enroll,
educate, and duplicate.
And duplicate, yes. Yep. Can't remember educate. So just normalizing that process and and then just looking at like the exponential growth that could have, because if everyone is doing that, then it's going to grow like crazy.
Yeah. If that's all we all do, I want you to think about that. Like, that's all you should be doing. So if you're spending your day making graphics, running reports, writing 100 handwritten note cards, designing wording for a class, like if that's what you're doing and you're not doing the other three things, you should stop doing everything and focus on those three things. Because all the other crap that we do is literally to distract us from the hard work. For us to like check boxes and say we're doing it and say like, oh, it's great. But really, like, we have to get back to the root of that and make that what we recognize too. So y'all are awesome if you do personal development. We all should. Y'all are awesome if you recognize people. Like I said earlier, recognition is important. We all should. But if you're not able to learn how to enroll and to educate in a way that's authentic and true to you, and that means like you writing your own words, you doing your own videos, writing emails, all that stuff, then you're not going to be able to duplicate that, because you're not going to be able to teach things to people you're not able to do yourself. So we are going to have a system this month where every single one of us on here, and that includes literally all of us, I'm not saying just the 6 of us, all of us, every time we post something we did, we want to tie it to one of those, like hashtag educate. I mean, it could be like hashtag, enrolled one, each one get one. I mean, reach one, like that kind of stuff where you're saying like, this that I'm teaching you or posting about is about these 3 pillars. And if you need help with closing, that would be, 2 pillars. It would be helping enroll, and it would also be teaching people to what? Enroll. And so that'd be 2 of the pillars. I've just seen so many Roll Crown Diamonds that this, like when someone asks a question, there's probably 10 of them that, what they respond with? They're like 3 pillars. And I'm like every time someone answers a question, asks a question, their answer is always 3 pillars. Someone's like, how do I send out samples? And they're like, 3 pillars, because here's the whole thing. If it leads to those 3 things, you'll figure out how to do it, because you're going to see the results right away, and it's not going to feel hard, because it's going to feel like you're in your stride. You're running at the pace you should be running. You're running your own race, and you're doing this. And if you're doing like a vendor event, we're going to have education in the next few months on how to do a vendor event where it leads to these 3 things, how to do a class where it leads to these 3 things. So really be expecting. I mean, we have like 16 Zooms set up this month for our team. And if you did not get the team newsletter, it was just texted out a little while ago. I'm happy to post it, of course, on Dream Team too, so you can see all the online education opportunities, and then comment below that with all your online education opportunities that are open to Crossline. Because guys, when you have Zooms, it is better to have 20 Crossline friends there than 1 person and 4 people teaching it. Like, that's weird, right? It's good to open things up and be a river and not a reservoir, and don't hold your information in, but actually share it with others, and you'll find growth through that. So Lori Kitchens, I'm so sorry that you now are going to have to say something awesome after the fact that we basically went through all of the boring educational information and dates for the month. But I just don't get to see your face enough. So I'm excited to hear something that you have to say about how you're feeling this month, what you plan to do, and how we're all going to rock it together. You're on mute.
I'm good now. I'm totally not prepared, but I did want to be on here because that's really like one of the big things that I'm trying to do better with, is being present in the trainings. Like, I can't expect my team to be there if I'm not. And I see Kelly on here. She's the only one on my team on here, and that's awesome. But one thing kind of across the board with my leaders at all levels is they're just really feeling defeated, and they're trying to figure out how to kind of get their teams back on board, whether it's a casual builder or losing ER or whatever. So Angela and I have talked a lot about just trying, and I've also just talking about just kind of back to basics. I think a lot of us are feeling that way. And normalizing enrollment, and also essential rewards at enrollment, just making that normal and the standard, because obviously our teams aren't going to grow if they're not getting on ER. And so those leaders of mine that enroll really well, but then they don't get them on ER, that's where a big struggle is. So we're trying to focus on that. And Ashley mentioned what I'm doing right now to try to just kind of help get myself in a better direction. And I'm not going to talk about now, but I'm doing that for myself, because I need to do that for myself, but for my team, just because I need to feel more worthy as a leader, because I don't always. the rank does not matter at all if you don't feel like you're a leader. So
Yep.
that's why I'm doing that for myself. And I had my first training today, and it was awesome. And so I do look forward to talking about that later. It's 8 weeks long, so I don't know, maybe at the end.
Yay.
So expect, and also I want to ask that all of you guys on here start reminding yourself that what you're doing is valuable and someone else can learn from it. So when you teach a class and no one shows up, you should post about it. When you teach a class and a ton of people show up and they already have oils, you should post about that. Like, post everything. And that really is how all of us grew. We were posting every time we did any activity. Like, hey, look what I did. And it's so important because we are speaking to people that are working on being a star. So some of you guys watching this, I want you to know, we are here for people that are working on becoming a star. So when we always type to people that are working on becoming a diamond, that's not our audience. Our audience is to stars, potential stars, maybe senior stars. So let's work together and really make this a fun month. We have an awesome Dream Team Hustle playlist, okay? And that's gonna be fun. We have the oil Awaken is our team theme oil. We have Goldenrod for free. I mean, come on. You know, they say sex sells in the entertainment industry, maybe in the oil industry too. I'm just saying, like, just do something. And what I'm saying by do something is, if you don't like where you are, move. And that literally is the key. If you don't like where you are, then move. And that is what we're doing to the culture to shake it up a little bit this month. We're moving. And here's the deal. Most people will move with us, and the people that don't, I'm not willing to stay stuck with them. I am going to move, and I'm going to get up and move. And it's really important for us to all remember that. And they will learn and have FOMO. Yes, that's exactly true. So excited to be in here. Let's create a culture of celebration. Keep plugging in and being part of the 3 pillars. And what I want to encourage you to do is what Lori just touched on. And I will say, from where my seat on this bus, I get to see it over and over again. So tonight, probably not a good example because there's a bunch of y'all that were on here when I asked you specifically, but the past few Motivation Mondays, what I see is the people that come on are the leaders that come on. And what I see over and over again is that most people at Silver and Above don't show up, and they don't tag people because they know they're not going to show up. So they don't want to tag people to show up when they're not actually going to be there, so that no one gets the education. And that is something that we all want to work on, because you don't have to go to all the things, but the things that you go to, all your people should be with you. So let's work on that as well, and making sure that we are, have integrity, and we lead that way, that if we're going to promote something, that we plug in fully and that we invite others along with us. And I'm thankful to be side by side with all of you here doing this, because this is the best opportunity in the world, and it's lifelong and it's lasting. So I'm just thankful, and it is going to be so much fun next week to hear from just probably more than just the 2 of them, but talking about the value of in-person events and how it ties into the 3 pillars. So be on the lookout for lots of posts about educating people, enrolling people, and helping to duplicate that as a leader. And be ready for some transformational change in your business, and it's going to be in your personal life too, because you will be changed by hearing from some of these amazing women, and you remembering that you're one of them too, and you have something important to say. So does anybody have anything else? So quiet. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you here for the Dream Call tomorrow night. If you don't know what the Dream Call is, we're actually going to be talking about what's possible as far as income potential and revealing some paycheck stuff. And we're going to be talking about what will happen to you if you actually dream big. And it's going to be super exclusive, special stuff that we don't post. So you want to be part of it. It's going to be 30 minutes tops. And the first week of the month, as a leader, you should always expect to work every single night. I feel like I should say that now, because it's something that, like, I've always been okay with, but then I feel it with people. They're like, oh, it's so busy. Guys, it's absolutely busy, because you're literally building the foundation for what you're going to build for the next 4.5 weeks of the month. So, like, it's a blessing to be busy this week of the month, because you're building a foundation, you're setting up your classes, you're inviting people, you're doing Zooms with your